Right, here we go. So the S&P 500 has the longest winning streak since last November. The market volatility, the fear index, the VIX plummets from 68 to now 15. We have the Jackson Hole Symposium happening this week where Powell will be speaking on Friday. We have Palo Alto Networks reporting earnings, Lowe's reporting earnings, a record high for gold, and Warren Buffett sells more Bank of America. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in the markets, and we will take a look at it to see exactly what is happening. And with that said, welcome to Coffee with Markus and Mark. And in this show, we are going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. And today is Tuesday, August 20th. And as you can see, I'm still solo because Mark is taking a well-deserved vacation this week. Now, talking about a vacation, the market is not taking a vacation, maybe a little bit today, but look at this. What an up move. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up days in a row. I mean, just straight up. So that's the longest winning streak since November. And how much longer can it last? I mean, honestly, 8 days, that's kind of crazy. If you look at this move, and we look at the percentage move from the low to the high here, we're looking at a 10% move. So at some point, we need to see a retracement. At some point, there has to be a losing day again. So the question is, if we do have a correction, where will this correction go? And this is where I really believe in the 50-day moving average. So I believe the next correction might be around 5,500 again. And when I talk about correction, I don't mean technically a correction, because technically a correction is 10% or more from the highs. And this is what we saw in the NASDAQ a couple of weeks ago, recovering there nicely as well. What I'm talking about is just a retracement in the market that after moving up for 8 days in a row, maybe to have a down day. And could today be the day where we have a down day? Well, let's take a look at a 5-minute chart of the S&P. And first of all, this morning, we started strong out of the gate. So we opened a little bit lower and then pushed higher. We're actually only 1% away from making a new all-time high in the S&P 500, but then pulling back a little bit. And there's absolutely no reason for this at all than just after 8 days straight up, probably some profit taking and taking a little bit of a breather. Because if you look at the calendar this week, we talked about it yesterday. On the economic calendar, we have nothing going on until probably Thursday and Friday. As you can see today, just a few Fed members are speaking. Tomorrow afternoon, we will have the FOMC meeting minutes that could move the market a little bit. Then on Thursday, we have the unemployment claims, flash manufacturing, PMI, and flash services. But the big one will be on Friday when Powell is speaking, because the question is right now, okay, the Fed is going to lower interest rates. That's what everybody is expecting right now. And the question is, how much are they going to lower interest rates? And this is where traders are a little bit torn right now. 71% probability that we will see a 0.25% cut. However, 28% that we see 0.5 percentage cut. So this is where it will be super interesting to hear what Powell has to say. If he says, yes, we are ready to lower interest rates, because I think he indicated it during the last meeting, but also during the last meeting and the press conference, when being asked about the 0.5%, he said, absolutely not. That is not going to happen. That's not what we have in mind. So did he change his tune? Is this something where he might say, yeah, we have it in mind? The problem is there wasn't much data between the last meeting when he had the press conference and this time. The only thing that we had was the jobs report, and the jobs report coming out much worse than expected. And this is why we had this little scare in the markets. If we are going back to a daily chart, it happened, almost 2.5 weeks ago, but then a V-shaped recovery, a very, very quick recovery here. So going back to the calendar, there's where nothing going on today. In terms of earnings, we did have Lowe's reporting earnings today. There we go. Let's just go there. Yesterday after the bell, Palo Alto Networks, we'll take a look at this. And then this morning, Lowe's. Let's start with Lowe's. So Lowe's here, let's go to the daily chart. LOW is the symbol, and we see Lowe's down 1.7%. That's not a whole lot. And if you look into earnings, we see, okay, they did better in terms of earnings, which is profits. They did a little bit worse, minus 1.4% in terms of their revenue, so slightly less than expected, not a whole lot. However, they also slashed their full year guidance where they say, well, we see that people are doing less home improvement projects. And this is where the question is, does this mean that maybe we are heading to a recession, that consumers are not spending anymore? Well, I believe this is where we have to wait what Target has to say tomorrow before the bell. Walmart, when was it? Last week already said, you know what, we don't see a slowdown in consumer spending. We see it's going strong. So here the question is, what will TJX companies and Target say tomorrow? This is where I think we'll get a little bit more of a hint is, do these companies see a recession or not? Talking about a recession, I just looked it up. Only 6% of companies reporting earnings this quarter have mentioned the word recession. So it seems that not many companies believe or are concerned about a recession. 6%, 94% did not mention the word recession in the earnings report. I think that is pretty good. So where do we stand today? What is happening today? As you can see, kind of a mixed picture. So we do have semiconductors down. And this is where we see NVIDIA down 2.4%, AVGO, Broadcom down 1.7%, ARM down 2.5%, Intel down again. We also see that the energy sector, especially oil and gas, is down today. And I'm really, really surprised by that, because if we are taking a look here at crude oil, we see that crude oil is really not moving a whole lot today. So crude oil down 0.6%, that's not really should be moving this sector here a whole lot. But if you zoom out a little bit and we see what is happening here in crude oil, we see, oh, we are attacking the $70 level again. Right now, crude oil trading at 73.19. And we see that crude oil has been trading in this range between around $70 to $85 a barrel. Again, a little bit breakout to the downside, sometimes a little bit to the upside, but this is where the majority of prices have been trading in. So now the question is, okay, as crude oil is approaching $70, is this another indication that there is less demand for crude oil? And less demand for crude oil would mean that there is possible a slowdown in the economy. And do we dare to say the R word again? Recession. This is where we are going back and forth. Talking about commodities, gold making a new time high. Look at this. Gold right now trading at 2,548. And you know what that means? Well, this means that now one gold bar is worth more than $1 million. Why? Well, I don't know. In case you haven't weighed your gold bars recently, a gold bar typically is 400 ounces. And 1 ounce of gold right now trading at $2,500. So the good news, this will make it very, very easy for you to calculate how much money you have in gold. Because all you need to do right now is look at your stash of gold bars and then 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. See? It's that easy. So this is what's happening with gold when gold is trading at 2,500. Way easier than before, where you said, well, they're worth like 900,000 or 850,000. Now it's $1 million. Easy enough, isn't it? Okay. So what else is going on? Bank of America. Warren Buffett has been selling more of Bank of America over the past few days. So let's just zoom in here a little bit to see what's happening with Bank of America. Recovering right now, but as you can see earlier, if you look at a 5-minute chart, a sharp sell-off. So why that? Because Warren Buffett already sold Bank of America, but this morning a so-called 13F filing with the SEC revealed that he was selling more over the last few days. And this is where people say, oh, if Warren Buffett doesn't like Bank of America anymore, we shouldn't like Bank of America anymore. And then where some people say, no, that's a solid company. And this is why we see quick of a rebound here. Okay. So finally, also going over to Palo Alto reporting earnings better than expected. And as you can see, up and away. So this year, packaged software, the technology services, 7% after reporting better than expected earnings. As you can see, earnings coming in higher than expected, 7% higher, and also the revenue slightly higher. And I believe that they gave a good forecast of what's happening. All right. So let's take a look at our positions and where we are with our positions. And first of all, we have our win the fear WTF positions, and there is no new positions. There's no open positions. And the last open position, Pfizer, this morning, closing it out with an exit signal. And this because there is no fear right now in the markets. All right. So this is where, as we see, the VIX slightly up today. So up 5%, but trading at 15 after spiking to 68. So this is the fear index. We are back to kind of normal settings here around 15. That's what we want to see. So nothing for us to do right now for WTF, waiting until we see a retracement. And again, right now, it looks like on the 5-minute chart, we are moving a little bit lower. We are trading at session lows in the S&P, diddling around in the Dow, trading at session lows for the NASDAQ. And also look at this. Right now, leading the indices lower, the Russell 2000 down 1.2%. So what does this mean for our wheel positions that we have? Well, first of all, CSIQ today down 2%, and I don't expect much from CSIQ until we see earnings, and earnings are coming out in 2 days from now, Thursday morning before the opening, and until then, I just expect them to diddle along. Now, if CSIQ moves lower, I'll probably fly another rescue mission. If it moves higher, I'll be happy, and I'll hope that it gets closer to my cost basis. And again, otherwise, I'm interested in lowering my cost basis, probably around 20 and a half, 21. So that's what's going on there. Halliburton today, lower with the overall sector and down 2.7%. So I'm assigned at 34.50. Nothing for me to do. Mark, I was assigned at BP, and I know that Mark is on vacation right now, but I really, really, really hope that yesterday he was able to sell calls against his existing position. He bought it at 34.50, and yesterday, as you can see, we're scratching up there. So some nice premium that he should have received yesterday. I hope that he was able to do it today, down 1.6%. So let's see what's happening with the energy sector. KSS calls today also down 0.3%, kind of in line with the market. And I believe that right now Coles is reporting earnings in 8 days. However, we do have on Thursday morning Target and TJX companies reporting earnings. And these are two big retailers. So I believe that they might move Coles here a little bit. And then we'll see next week what Coles has to say when they're reporting earnings on August 28th. Nothing to do there. Merck today against the trend. While all the markets are down, Merck is slightly up, pulling back a little bit, but still up 0.4%. Like to see this, still not being able to sell calls. Have to wait here a little bit. And then UPS, kind of unchanged. I mean, UPS still trading below my break even at 134.90. So we need to see that UPS is pulling a little bit higher here before it can start selling calls again. Not too much going on the scanner today. What I found interesting is maybe take a look at SLB. And I don't know, I'm not pronouncing this company anymore. As you know, I believe it should be Schlumberger and not SLB, Schlumberger, whatever. Don't care. We call it SLB. But right now, some nice premium here at the 43.50 for this week, expiring on Friday. APA, another oil and gas company here. I like SLB or Halliburton better, obviously. And then we also have Etsy popping up on the scanner. Etsy, not for me. I mean, in a downtrend here, looking at the income statement, 2022, facing a loss right now. It seems that they're bouncing back. But, I mean, they were a clear pandemic winner, as you can see. And ever since, they have been in a downtrend. So that's not for me. All right. So we'll take a look at what else is happening in the markets right now. But before we do, hey, you didn't tell me in the comments whether you like my dad joke. And I know Mark is not here, and usually we have the friendly competition going on between Mark and I in the dad jokes. But hey, I'm keeping up the tradition here of telling you a dad joke before we go back to the market. So met with my daughter yesterday, my daughter Vivian, and she then said, "Hey, I'll call you later." And I said, "No, please call me Dad." You like this? Hopefully, if you do, give me a like. And with that said, let's see of what else is happening in the markets. And we are looking at the indices, the Dow right now. Yeah, trading towards session lows. I mean, as you can see today, mainly trading sideways, and right now at session lows. So is the S&P, so is the Nasdaq. So will today be the day where we are breaking this very impressive 8-day win streak and take a little bit of a breather? I believe today is the day we need to take a breather. And again, we do have the Fed meeting minutes being released tomorrow. We do have Target and TJX are reporting on Thursday morning. We do have the unemployment report coming out, the weekly unemployment claims, and a few other reports, and then Friday, Powell. So today, all right, let's all take a deep breath and wait what else is happening here this week. You definitely don't want to miss it, and this is why click subscribe if you haven't done so. And hope that you enjoy the show. If you do me a favor and give me a like. If you have any comments after the show, you can leave a comment right underneath. If you feel that this was some good stuff worth sharing, there's a share button right underneath the video. Please feel free to share it with whoever, wherever. There's multiple possibilities. Just click the share button, and then I will see you again tomorrow morning. And until then, have a great rest of your day. Take care.